Synergy Controller WebTouch Remote demonstration. This is Jacob Shear for Title Engineering Corporation. I'm here today to demonstrate the Synergy Controller WebTouch Remote feature. The Synergy Controller can be controlled over the Internet with a web browser. Each controller has a built-in web server that uses Title Engineering's WebTouch Remote technology. This technology provides a web browser user interface that is identical to the local touchscreen interface on the environmental chamber. You can use this feature to remotely monitor chamber settings and readings. Technicians can use this feature for remote troubleshooting. In this video demonstration, I will show you how to set up the virtual chamber in your web browser for a remote control using the World Wide Web. Keep in mind that during this demonstration, I will be using the WebTouch Remote to perform actions that should be done on the Synergy controller during the setup process. Before using the web server, we will perform a one-time setup. This setup includes establishing a connection, registering the server, enabling the server, and creating a username and password for the server. Every controller has a built-in web server. To access this server, however, you must first enter a registration key. Contact Title Engineering Corporation at www.titleeng.com to obtain your registration key. The Synergy Controller WebTouch Remote can be used on an office or factory network to provide remote access and control. The Synergy Controller can also be accessed through the Internet, provided your network is configured for remote access. You should check with your network administrator to see if this is possible on your network. The first step of the setup is to configure the controller's IP address and Netmask. I will set up the Synergy controller's IP address from the communications screen. I will open this screen by pressing the COM button. Next, I will navigate to the Ethernet network folder. Then, I double-click on the subfolder labeled Ethernet. If you are connected to a DHCP server, the Synergy controller will display the address it was assigned on the Ethernet screen. If the address is not 0, then it has been assigned an address by the DHCP server. My controller has been assigned an address automatically by the DHCP server. If you would like to set up a static address, we can do so by changing the entry in the IP address selection bar from DHCP to static. Touch the IP address selection line and press Change. The line should now read static IP. Now I can set the address, Netmask, and gateway parameters according to my network requirements. For example, to change the IP address, I select the address parameter, press Change. Then, click on the field I want to change. Then I enter a new address in the number pad. Then press Accept. The next step is to register the web server. I go back and navigate to the folder titled Web Server. The screen will prompt you to enter a registration key. You can call us at Title Engineering for your key. Press the text box to display the keypad to enter your registration key. When Alpha is selected, pressing a key will cycle through the letters printed on that key, similar to the keypad on a cell phone. When you are finished typing the registration code, press OK. To cancel, press Cancel. On the previous screen, I hit Register to continue. The Synergy controller displays a message box indicating that the web server key has successfully registered. I hit OK to proceed to the web server settings page. Now that we have successfully registered the web server, you can now set a login name, set a password, and enable the web server. Then we can connect to the Synergy controller. To create a login name, I first click on the line on the web server screen called Login Name and press the Change button. Now, I enter my desired username using the keypad, and then press OK. Your login name should appear on the right-hand side of the line. I now repeat these steps to set my password. To edit the password, I click the line that says Password and press Change. I type in my password and then click OK. The last step I need to perform before we can begin using the WebTouch Remote is to enable the web server. I first click on the line labeled Web Server On/Off and press Change. Your Synergy Controller's web server is now ready for use. Next, I configure my web browser. The Synergy Controller WebTouch Remote works seamlessly with the latest versions of Internet Explorer, Chrome, Firefox, and Safari. The WebTouch Remote is also compatible with the Apple iPhone and iPad. For those using Internet Explorer, you must adjust the default settings before using the WebTouch Remote. First, open Internet Explorer. From the Tools menu, select Internet Options. Click the Settings button under Browsing History. On the Settings screen, select the Every Time I Visit the Web Page option. Press OK to save these settings. The WebTouch Remote may work unpredictably if the setting is not changed. Now, to access my Synergy controller via the web, I open my Internet browser and type my controller's IP address into the address bar. This is the same address we set up earlier in the web server folder under the COM button. For example, to access my WebTouch Remote, I type my controller's address 172.168.200.24 in the address bar, then press Enter. The browser prompts me for a username and password. I enter the username and password I set up in the web server folder earlier on the controller. You can check the Remember My Password box so you won't have to enter this information again. Otherwise, you will be prompted to enter the password each time you use the WebTouch Remote. If you enter the incorrect password, close out of your browser window and open a new one. Otherwise, Internet Explorer will not ask you for the password again. Now, I click OK to log into my controller's WebTouch Remote. Now that you have successfully logged in, you will see the web interface exactly as it appears on the controller. With WebTouch Remote, I can operate my Synergy controller through the web, just as though I were standing in front of my chamber. This concludes the Synergy Controller WebTouch Remote tutorial. Remember, if you have any further questions or comments, please contact us at our website, www.titleeng.com. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.